Hey, family, and welcome to the Critical Sense Making Session facilitated by yours truly, Revolutionary Rika. Today's episode is episode 32. Today's topic is humanity. Today's guest is Don Bowden. He
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
He is a Bay Area native who is passionate about photography, community, and technology. Don, tell us a little bit more about who you are and choose one word to describe how you're showing up.
Greetings, everyone. Thank you for tuning in for another Revolutionary Rika show. It's an honor and a pleasure to be on this show, and I'm so super proud of you. I know I was supposed to be on a lot earlier, but you know how things go and timing and everything. And right now is our time, So I feel like the time is right. Had the opportunity to grow as a person since that time, since that invitation. So I'm happy. It took a little bit more for me to get on, but now I'm on and I'm excited. So I want to say first about myself, I'm a family man. I am a tribal oriented mind thinking community. We all in it together. Thinking person. I think for others. I think for the earth and I think for animals and all that other stuff. I bring into consideration when making certain decisions. So that's who I am. If you want to know why I do what I do, just be like, okay, how does that impact people? How does that going to impact the planet? And how is it going to impact animals? And then you'd be like, that's done. That's done. That was the best move. That's done. So that's how I tick. Um, Today I'm showing up, I would say compounding. Compounding is stacking things together. It seems like when you have limited resources, you got to kind of piece some things together in order to make a slice for yourself. So I'm showing up compounding. I want to bring what I have to offer to the table and link it up with others, and let's get it.
All right. Well, thanks again, Don, for agreeing to participate in the critical sense making session.
Sure.
And I'm going to jump us right into our icebreaker question.
Okay.
Your life was a song title right now. What would it be entitled?
If right now my life was a song title, it would be entitled Slow Down, Listen, Then Proceed. A lot of times I feel like we rush into things, we get programmed, and our initial reaction is what we were programmed to. But when we stop, we think, we listen and analyze, then proceed, we usually have a better outcome.
That's interesting. I was in a workshop maybe 2 weeks ago now, and
Mm-hmm.
it came up during the pandemic. My doctoral peers and I, they were expecting us to meet these deadlines, like there
Yeah.
was no pandemic, and so I can't. I think it was Pierre Angeli said, "We will not move at the speed of whiteness." And so, hearing you say this about slow down, listen, and proceed,
Yeah.
actually taking those steps so that we don't
Yes.
be doing stuff just to be doing stuff, but we actually, we're taking meaningful action in what we are doing. So thank
Yes. Yes. That's pretty good. Time is whiteness. I like that
you.
because I consider that actually the fact that they would take the time and diagnose it and give it a name
Mhm.
and a title and say this is what it is and identify it means that it exists and they feel it. And us being Bible creatures, we do a lot of things based on feeling. So if you feeling rushed, the whiteness, the time, the line, the speed is right now. As soon as we say something, it's gonna happen, and it all stems to a lot of things that we suffer from. Because if it was on their end, the whiteness on their end, it would then be done. But since we're still struggling for certain things, it's not on their timeline. They're not interested. So therefore, we suffer. There's no movement. There's no resources towards it.
Absolutely. Thank you
Whiteness,
for
white timeless. I like that.
sharing on that icebreaker question. Moving
Yeah.
on to our first set of questions, I would love for you to
Okay.
start by telling us a little bit about life growing up in the Bay Area.
Life growing up in the Bay Area was very interesting. I started off as a young lad in East Oakland, going through the elementary school systems where my mom, where she was an administrator at a mental health institution. And so she worked there and, intermingling with people. She ended up speaking with the doctor and they hit it off. And therefore we moved out of Oakland environment to Union City, where I then started my education. I would say like high school and up, middle school, into middle school and up through high school. Growing up in the Bay Area is very interesting, being that my father is a psychologist. I've been taught to analyze things and look at them from a different perspective, not just my own, but looking at it from their needs and stuff like that. And so watching things come into my life for certain reasons and not understanding it was very frustrating because I knew where I wanted to be, but I just couldn't get there. And so I went away to college up in Sonora to be a firefighter, to do that. And I ended up getting injured like a week before leaving. And I still went to college to do it and all this other stuff. But, ultimately I wasn't able to do it for physical reasons. So then I switched things up and just started doing what everybody else did, started a family, young 20, started a family and just working, jobs, piecing things together, trying to make a slice of the pie.
Right. Thank you. Thank you for sharing your story. Thinking back on your childhood, who introduced you to the concept of humanity?
My father, he was a Black Panther. He
Ooh.
actually went to UC Berkeley also. So he was real familiar with Angela Davis and everybody in the Bay Area and that whole Panther movement. That was his era, his time. And, looking back at pictures, and he doesn't even like to take pictures. This is a trick. I'm like, what did you really do in your past? He'll make some weird faces. He's like, oh man, they're gonna do facial recognition to find me. This is a trip like, okay, it's kind of weird because he comes at you like a straight up thinker. And then like a picture, it's time to take a picture and he'll just make the weirdest face in the picture every time nonstop. So like, I would say he introduced me, my mother introduced me. I grew up with a lot of love and family. We were solid. Of course, we weren't exempt from things, happening, but I was really, truly blessed with thinkers as my leaders. So a lot of times I wasn't like left with not understanding because it didn't make no logical sense. A lot of things they did make all the logical sense in the world. And so was able to piece things together faster than someone who didn't have that type of thinking leadership in their life as a youngster. We grew up. He was actually in the Army, and so he bounced around. And my mom, her mother died young, so she was like the oldest. So she had a lot of young siblings. So she had to step up and be that matriarch in that family. So my grandfather taught him, you don't wait for no man to do nothing for you. I'm going to teach you how to cut the grass and paint and change sockets. And so my mom knows how to do, she didn't wait for nobody. So I grew up with that influence. And so humanity was all around me all the time. We liked nature. We would go fishing as a family and understand our role in society in this world. We grew up Christian with, I would say, a Baptist base and, religion, spirituality wise, we're seeking spirituality. So Christianity was the closest thing that my parents felt was the right thing in the right direction to, raise a family, a healthy family.
Mhm.
So that's me, you know what I mean? Like well-rounded, kind of here, there, everywhere, can go very high, can go very low, how you want to take it. Let's go.
That's awesome. Thanks, Don, for sharing that. Um,
Absolutely.
Sound like you had some really amazing experiences just listening to.
Man, we did a lot, whew. He said you can do and be whatever you want to be, just be the best. So, of course, my little brother was like, I want to rob banks. And he was like, you better be the best. So, it's like, wow, how low you want to go or how high you want to take it. You just better be the best, So that was the me growing around that.
Yeah. So, what lessons did you learn about humanity that still reigns true for you today?
One lesson I learned about humanity that still rings true today is the thought process, the ability to think before you engage. Like there's certain things you need to do. Like I said, you think about people, it's natural, like, hey, I want to run out and I want to do all these things. Okay, well, how's that going to impact the people around you? It's like, okay, you got to show humanity. You can't just First, let's start off by defining humanity,
Yeah.
per se. Let's do that. So humanity is the human race, human beings collectively, compassionate, sympathetic, or generous behavior, the quality of or state of being human, things like that. And so without the ability to show humanity, everything else underneath is going to be affected. You're on episode 32. You probably had 32 people on that gave you wonderful examples on how they're not getting shown humanity in whatever topic or whatever subject that they wanted to be, to put forth in their life and say, this is what I'm going to do. I'm pushing education and all this for education and kids. And it's like, okay, like we started this thing off, who got the resources? White people. If we move at the speed of whiteness, education would have been already here, But in order to want that for others and know that others want that, you have to have humanity. You got to put yourself in their shoes. Be like, wait a minute, I'm not the only one that wants this. They want this also. But if you don't possess the ability to show humanity, for whatever reason, I have my reasons why they can't show humanity. And that's just the end of the day. Everything that comes from that. Well, how come we can't do this as a job? Well, I don't look at you as a human. Why don't you identify me as the same? Because we're not the same. We're different. And when everybody realizes that and accept that being different is okay, but you don't get to do certain things and you don't get to run certain things because you don't have the ability to show humanity, everybody will be okay. So you say, well, damn, Don, what you talking about, Don, right? What you talking about? Well, I'm gonna let you know, like, how many great people do we have to sacrifice for white people to understand that we are human? How many Dr. Kings do we have to produce? How many Malcolm X's got to come on the scene and come with the best speech? We just had another poet. Oh, she's the greatest poet ever. What is she trying to do? She's trying to invoke a feeling of humanity so y'all can get your foot off her neck. That's just it. And it's like, we're going to keep playing ourselves if we're looking for humanity in a place that doesn't exist. A lot of people, like I said, I was raised in a Christian background, as a young youth. And I was told that I was a steward of the earth and to take care of everything in it. And what I'm noticing that since we've been moving at the speed of whiteness for their agenda, that's affected the balance of everything. And people are looking like, well, I noticed in this area, we're not getting justice. And I noticed in this area, we're not getting this. And they're tearing down the rainforest as fast as it can grow, and they're setting fires. And we're pushing the world to the wrong speed, the wrong frequency. They sped up the music. If you look at the music, it's going too fast. Why is it going too fast? It's coming in too hot. Why is it coming in too hot? Because their frequency is different from the frequency of Earth. If you're a Christian, we made from Earth. But we do possess the breath of life. That's how we're living creatures. So when we're from the earth, then we're in tune with the earth. So when we go fishing or we go to the lake and we sit and we chill and the wind is doing this thing and the water is doing this thing, you kind of will calm down and be more or less stressed and relaxed. And it's like you're going to be more connected to the earth because it's like, damn, this is some rhythmic stuff. The waves are just... And they want to tap into it and just throw some label on it, call it yoga and healing vibrations. They're not inventing nothing new under the sun. They're just flipping it. And people are seeking like, damn, this ain't right. This don't feel right. And so we're all seeking something because we all know that this ain't right.
They refashioning it, right?
Yes. Yes. They're white labeling it. It's called white labeling. They're white labeling everything. They took the Bible and white labeled it. You know, the Bible say go into foreign lands and get your slaves. Guess what? If the Bible's based in Africa, guess where we going to get our slaves? Foreign lands. So, man, you never know, Reed. It's a revolutionary, Reed. I don't think they're ready.
They ain't ready. They ain't ready for that real conversation.
No, they just want to, because it's money in it. You know what I mean? It's money. Every Sunday you going up there talking about, all right, y'all come back next Sunday. It's like, what about Monday through Saturday? You know, I'm not feeling fulfilled enough because I got to keep running back to you every Sunday to get that hit. And when we realize that our body is the temple, and the Bible is actually like, you say a manual on how to live life. Everything in the Bible is geared to building you up. It'll give you a diet. You'll find a diet in there that'll help you become a better you. You'll find ways of living and how to center your moral compass, such as thou shalt not kill. You kill somebody, you're taking a life. God gave us the breath of life. Why are you taking lives? You know, that's not for yours to take. You can't find the breath of life on the shelf, even though they would love to make it and flip it and white label it and call it a sheep, you know, but don't fall for it. But long story short, thou shalt not covet next man's wife. All that stuff causes stress in your life. Stress breaks down the body. That's why if you look at the 10 Commandments, it's all there. You follow that. If you don't follow one of those, I ain't gonna obey my parents. Damn, it's kind of stressful when you don't obey your parents. You know what I'm saying? So you just got to realize that it's a manual on how to enhance life. God gave us everything to enhance life, humanity. He gave us humanity because humanity affords us the ability to show love, to have respect, to show empathy. When you show up on the scene and you're hungry, what are they going to do? They're going to show you humanity and welcome you in. Come on in, Columbus. It's all good. Yeah, you heard, you just showed up. Y'all dying. Come have a feast. That's what humanity is. But what humanity is not is putting people in human zoos and talking about, we're going to study the zoo. We're going to study these humans in the zoos for money and profit off of that. Mm-hmm. So, you know, that's not humanity. Having people putting them in cages is not humanity. Exclusion is not humanity. Thinking of yourself, the iPhone, me, this and that. It's all about my space and all this. And look, it's my face. Look, selfie. That's not right, man. The balance is off. You know, we got to look out and be tribal. Look out for your elders. Why? Because elders possess certain things that you're not going to find in the book. Why are you not going to find in the book? Because they ain't been here long enough to understand what's even on this earth and to tell us what it is. You go to high school, something happened, you can't feed yourself. How you not going to be able to go out and tend the soil and feed yourself? That's like basics, right? You need food. You need certain things as a human in order to function. So, but I can go on and on, but you know, they do certain programs and things like that in our lives to control us. If I control your diet, I control you. If I control your mind, I can control your body. It's simplistic. And they're just hijacking us. And we got to learn how to reprogram ourselves. But first, you got to figure out what is the program. What are programs that are running in your life? You wake up in the morning, wow, you throwing chemicals in your mouth, toothpaste. You don't even know what's in that. You just, they just say it's this, blah, 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 squash. You don't even know what you just set off in your mouth. And you just going and going, Monday through Friday, 5 days, 5 out of 7 days, you working hard. What? Saturday, you thinking about, okay, I'm living life good, but Sunday, the end of the day, you ready for Monday. So you like a day and a half. That's not humane. That's called the speed of whiteness. I like how you said that. That defines that their tempo was off. You got to watch. they see or watch, but it's not clicking right. It's like, ooh, you see them dance, you like, ooh, that ain't right. You start dancing next to them, you're like, wait a minute, you throw my tempo off, man. Hold on, you throw my rhythm off. I can't even look at you when I dance no more. So it's around us, but if we're not programmed to see it, we won't know it. We go to school to get dumbed down, to not see our environment, to not recognize or not be able to identify a plant. It's like, what kind of plant is that? I don't know. So you're not going to appreciate it. You're going to say, well, bulldoze it. Well, throw some concrete over it. We're going to throw some apartments up because we need to pack as many people in this little space as possible. But you just got rid of something that we could all live from, that the cats or the animals in the area would go to for medicine. Dogs eat grass and certain things to help themselves. And we just put concrete over it. Put this because it's faster. It's the speed of light. I like that. Sorry.
This is good.
Hit me, Rika.
To you, these spaces are needed for this conversation. Let's forget all the buzzwords and the equity and all of it. Let's talk about humanity in the basic sense of your basic needs being met, right? Food, shelter, clothing. Let's look at when you and I both attempt to go to work. How many, I know I passed probably 40 encampments on my way. And one is right here in front of the freeway by my house. And so hearing you say that, and I'm on Facebook, like you just said, and somebody got a bag up and they like, oh, it's all about this material item. And so I think it was the 1700s, Descartes, when he said, I think, therefore I am. So they started thinking they were gods, right? Because I think, like, you think you've created yourself. That's my question.
Yes.
And so, you do have the ability to think, and you do have choice. You have free choice to decide whatever it is you want to do. However, if it is only about you, that's part of Western culture, individualistic society, right? The meritocracy. I have to get more than everyone else. Well, we've seen millions of times. Look at Robin Williams. Riches, all the accolades, awards.
Man, still not happy.
And he, exactly, because you know why? The happiness that isn't in that. And so back to what you said, it's in those relationships. It's in me bringing my purpose to the table because I know you may need that, and you bringing your purpose to the table because I may need something you have, and us all pulling together, right? So that the needs are met. That's when you're going to have balance in humanity. But we're off because it's all about get, exploit the earth, exploit her resources at any cost, and we own
fast as possible. They're gonna throw 3 shifts at you with the biggest bulldozers. How fast can we get this? And you know what? Next year we're gonna get even more. So guess what? Our stock is gonna go up. Our personal wealth is gonna go up because that's their priority. And if you were made of the soil, if you had water in you from this place, you would cherish water more. You would cherish plants more because you understand how they affect the environment, a healthy environment. Humanitarians have it wrong. They think that their main focus is the animals. It's like, we got to get the people right first. You guys are in charge and you're saying you have all these humanitarian departments and all this, but you all on the animals. You never see people as people. You are faking it. Because you and I both know at the end of the day, somebody do you wrong, somebody do you dirty. When you look at them when they down and out, it's like, I'm not even gonna mess with you. You already had enough. Your humanity comes out in you, and you may lift them up. You may say, man, come on, let's go. Like, this ain't even worth it. I don't even know why I was fighting you in the first place. Like, I don't even know either. Come on. And when you have people that's in charge that doesn't have that compassion, they're going to push killing. They're going to push, oh, you didn't kill him, you a punk. Oh, you didn't do this, you a punk. Oh, you know what? You killed him and you promoting killing, so I'm going to give you money. And I'm going to have you be on the pedestals to show others that this is the way to get resources, is to kill each other. And that's another program that they run in our lives through music. They understand that we are very rhythmic. If you play some John's, only a certain number of people are going to be triggered by that. And it's usually the children of the sun, people melanin, Latinos, Native Americans, Africans, Europeans, they were all Black, you know what I mean? And to think that we only come from one place is crazy, because if you're biblical, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. So if he created the earth, why would he only populate Africa? I'm just saying, people don't I don't know if they believe what they really read or if they're not hearing what they're reading, because the churches have now been hijacked. Mm-hmm. I started this conversation off by talking about my religion was based in Christianity. Mm-hmm. But now, as an adult, I've learned that religion has been hijacked and now really has spirituality. Mm-hmm. And they know that if they control our spirituality that's in us through religion and having these people in front of us, it's natural that we're going to gravitate towards that because we won. It's easy. They just hijacked us. Oh, how you feed yourself? We're going to hijack how you feed yourself. Now you can't have a farm. You can't do X, Y, and Z. And I'm going to feed you this, 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 and this. And you know what? We need to make a profit on this, 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 and this. So we're going to put certain things in the food like flour, and we're going to bleach it and for beauty and this and that. But we created gluten, and nobody can really digest gluten. Look that up. A partner and I did a show on gluten and different things that chemicals, how it affects your body. If you look up gluten, it may answer a lot of questions for you. Nobody can digest gluten. Some people are just more affected by gluten, but we are all affected by gluten. So through our diet, they are hijacking and programming us, putting commercials down our throat. Oh, I got the McDonald's. I got this latest fast on the go, quick, boom, no love put into this meal. Nothing was extra this. No, we just fast as possible, packaging up and go, because it's all about a profit. If you from the earth, you'd be like, you know what? I got $5. He has none. I'm going to give him $1. That's just how we are. Oh, I got a quarter. I can give him something. And then you have the most wealthiest people, like you said, can drive past an encampment and do nothing because they don't feel humanity. You say, well, damn, Don, what you get that? I'm saying, well, they got a different God. The creator is different. The minute we, children of the sun, admit that, we will understand why we all have the problems that we have in all the different areas that we all talk about on a daily basis. Why have none? Why they got so much? Why is it 1%? Why is it 99%? It's because they're not from here. They don't care. They just want the resources and they ain't out. You are a resource. He's like, well, shoot, we got all this ladies technology and this and that, because you are a resource. Your information is a resource. You are a economy. Your information is an economy. If they knew who you really were, they wouldn't have to study you. So they give us phones and different platforms in order for them to be able to study us. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I give you a phone and I can put certain things through it and change your mindset, I control your body and I can influence you. And the whole time I'm keeping you distracted. I'm throwing distractions at you. Oh, because people, we all know something's in us. We all gonna get distracted. We cannot focus at the speed that they want us to focus. It's like, I'm tired. I'm breaking down physically. I've been worked 40 years and ain't retired yet. How you gonna work 40 years of your life and you 60, started when you was 20 and you can't retire yet? Your body is broken down. Your body is broken down.
Yeah. I hear you.
They hijacked your resources. In order for Rika to eat and feed herself, she has to work at this pace. And the minute you stop, they're gonna allow you to go sleep under the overpass. Go over there. You're not given to society, so you're not important. And that's what we're all about. But if you were all about humanity and each other, you realize, you know what? Hey, come on, man. Come with me. I know you have a mental problem, but you may not be able to feed yourself. And in our society, it's all based on resources. So the mentally ill are left behind because they're not voters. How many mentally ill people go vote? So the politicians that ain't on top of their agenda because that don't bring out the voters. They gonna always say and do what brings out the voters, but what about the basics, humanity?
I hear you.
You
So,
know,
so Don, tell me, how do you celebrate humanity like in your professional work?
I love to show happiness. I love to show life. I love to show joy. I love to buke the system. You know what I mean? I hate when they label us this and that because I know it's a program. I know we're at an image war. I know that if they justify us being criminals and crooks and not worthy of living, them killing us ain't gonna be a big deal because people ain't gonna feel it, you know? People ain't gonna feel it.
Mm-hmm.
So through my work, I love to show us being who we are. We're not perfect. And what I'm talking about isn't on an individual basis, it's on a cultural basis. Being a photographer, I study people. I go in a room, I'm looking at stuff different than others. Some people are there to be the security guards, so they're looking for possible people that, you know, hazards and things like that. I'm looking for, okay, how does this person approach that person and what is their reaction? You know, and how can I get the best angle of that? And then I'm able to get in position and get the best angle because I studied that person and I looked for, okay, the sun is coming this way and I'm, you know, it's late in the day. And so it's a lot that goes into it. So I'm just being observant, you know, and utilizing that observant talent to study cultures, study people, you know what I mean? Studies like why. It's like, man, I'm tired of y'all asking why. You know, I've been in a lot of rooms with a lot of people on panels, a lot of greats. You know, we've been there, Rika. We've seen all the greats in the room and we heard the same thing. It's no solution. And it's no solution because it's not in it, it's not in their agenda. It's not in their agenda.
Keep putting
It
band-aids
ain't.
on wounds, right? Open wounds,
Yeah.
surgery.
We're gonna give you the Democrats after we push you. We'll give you the Democrats after we push you to the edge with the Republicans. But then you just, oh, I'm gonna go over here. Now I'm gonna go over there. But in the meantime, you're still stuck in the middle. You ain't went nowhere. It's like all these years. Why can't we just stand up and say no more right now? Boom, it's over with.
You ain't stuck in the middle. You actually stuck at the bottom because what you don't realize is that they actually are on the same team.
Yes.
Whoever is the team captain, that's just which side gets the authority for those couple of years.
Yes.
The same damn team.
Same damn team. Same damn team, man. So guess what? All the people of the sun, melanated people all over the world, we put ourselves at risk for resources. Let me rewind this real quick. I'm gonna break it down and I'm gonna make it quick. And this may end it for a lot of people. This may be the end of your psychological, I'm gonna enlighten the people career where we're just gonna break it down to the first compound. The compound is two things joined together, but we're gonna break it down before that, the elements, right? Single element. Why? If you're able to figure out the playbook, you'll understand why and what they're gonna do. So what I do is, as a photographer, figure out the playbook. This is what they're doing, and this is what they want. This is the message they're trying to portray. So I'm gonna take the pictures and the videos and things like that to say that message. So long story short, if you understand that they're not you and that they're here for resources, you will understand everything that they do and why. Period. That's it. But you got to accept that though. And it's crazy to say it, but then it's crazy not to think that, it's crazy to think that you're the only ones out here. You know, like, are we really, did God stop at earth? Did he, you know, Almighty? Was he only able to do one earth in this universe? So that's how I feel about that, young revolutionary Rika.
Revolutionary Rick.
Yeah. See, you ready? You about that life? You about that action? That's what I'm talking about. You know.
I mean, if you can survive in the Fillmore in the trenches, working with some amazing and genius young people, because I got to put out there. A lot of times we get labeled by our behaviors, but I've worked with some talented young people over the years, and You get your battle wounds and your scars, but you also you get the reward when they come back and
Mhm.
see that the kid that struggled with reading or struggled even with social emotional issues and challenges,
Mhm.
they come back and they thriving and they working at some big company or they got a little family now and they think they're just
Mhm.
being successful. That's the reward for me.
Yes.
Not necessarily some big salary. It's not necessarily an award by the mayor or anything like that, right? It's always about
Right.
when those young people come back and you can see the seeds that you planted, they have blossomed,
Mhm.
they're continuing to grow. Like that right there,
Beautiful, ain't it?
that's humanity and that's powerful.
Yeah.
It's about passing the baton. And so
Mhm.
the baton passed to me. So I have to make
Yes.
sure for all those young people coming up behind me, the young leaders, the young
Yes.
youth, that they get the same. Whatever I have, it's not for me to keep. To just so
Mhm.
I can say, I have all this knowledge and wisdom, and I'm just gonna
Mhm.
walk around and just be the smartest. Absolutely not.
Mhm.
For a reason. So every person I come in contact with, and this is my piece of humanity, right? I have to make sure I'm present and engaged. I'm listening,
Mhm.
I'm watching, I'm being observant, like you talked about, so I can notice those cues. I can notice the body language that may occur, so I can really see what's happening. People will tell
Yes.
you one thing and put on the mask, and you'll think everything's fine, but under
Yes.
if you're listening with your heart and
Mhm.
paying attention, not on your phone scrolling, going, mm-hmm,
Right?
really see them. Do you see
Yes.
the power of that? That
Right?
helps people feel empowered and they will start to change. They don't feel stagnant anymore because now somebody's coaching them and cheering them
Mhm.
on. And so I feel like, I mean, I call myself the purpose pusher, right? I'm always pushing people. Why was you born? And they looking at me like, what? I'm a school teacher.
Yeah.
Hey, that's a
You
job.
gotta ask why. Keep asking why. We they teach us that asking why means you're dumb. It's a sign of, oh, you don't know nothing. Like, dude, you asking why, and it's messing with them because they really don't know why. Because we go to school and we just learning what they want us to learn, and it's not right. It's not right. We feel it and we know it, and we seek knowledge outside of school. It's like you learn more outside of school, and it's like, oh, if they were teaching me this, I would get it and I would understand it. But because it's not normal, it's hard and it's forced, and we're in an unnatural habitat, and we're getting judged off our reactions in the unnatural habitat. It's like crabs in the barrel. Remember I told you that? Like, how are you going to judge the crabs in the barrel when you put them in the barrel and that's not their natural habitat in the first place? So you're saying, oh, all crabs in the barrel are bad, all crabs are bad because they pull each other down? No, they actually probably work together in a community and feed each other, and who knows what they're doing under the ocean. But when we put them in the barrel, their reaction is different because they're in an unnatural habitat. And our unnatural habitat is producing diamonds. Pressure, you know what I'm saying, produces diamonds. And the hood, the neighborhoods, somehow we still coming out shining and glowing, and it's so beautiful because we can see the human and the humanity, and we have that feeling of like, oh, I feel so sorry for them, or I'm so happy for them, and this is the greatest. It's like, oh, seeing somebody achieve something, you kind of feel like you did it. Like, oh man, yeah, that was great. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, go. I don't
Yeah,
know if you have to, you do basketball, right? You play basketball.
I did, and I coached.
Yeah, your teammate hit a shot and feel like you did it, right? It's like,
But
oh, it's like
I'm gonna tell you,
that connection.
when I coached, I still
Mm-hmm.
felt, and it was like, dang, I want to get on the court. The boys were like, coaching me, but I'm like, dang, I want to play. But I
Yeah.
feel like I was part of that victory.
Yes, because everybody plays a role. You know, it takes a village. You got to be tribal. And the minute you get away from it, the balance is going to be off.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
unfortunately, if you ran a world and you want to remain in power, you're going to do certain things in order to remain in power. You know, you're going to throw the programs out there. And one of the programs to help others identify in case they don't know what to look for would be kids. You know, having a large family, that means you're reproducing is more of you. So therefore, you pretty soon are going to be able to influence society because of your numbers. So one of the programs they do is they limit your resources. So now having kids aren't so attractive. You know, having that big family you really want, it's like, can I really do it in this society? Oh, we're going to go ahead and make that unattractive. even though there's more than enough resources for everybody, food going to waste, we have that pressure of feeling like, man, it's not cute to have all these babies and all this. That's just a way for them to keep down your numbers when it comes to voting, because they know we allow voting, we okay this. Like the people is cool with the voting system. So now they're just tweaking different ways in the voting system. And then you're gonna have a whole slew of activists who's all about voters, voter this and voters should be able to do that. And they're gonna have a career. But when you understand the playbook, the ultimate goal is to stay in power so they can continue to do X, Y, and Z. All this other small things underneath is going to make sense. Why do you go to the military so much? Why do we make up so much in the military? Because you go to the military, you're not having that family structure that you should have. It's not normal to have a military lifestyle. It's not normal. You need to be there in the house to have that, that influence, whether it's male or female. But they say, okay, when you're in high school, you're broke, your family ain't got no resources, so you should go to the military, and it's like, oh, that is the greatest option for me right now. It's like, but if you think, it's like, dang, if I'm in the military, I'm going around doing me and me, doing what they want. They control my mind, body, I'm giving it up. I ain't even having the right amount of kids and influence in my community that I should. They're doing that back home because they got me deployed wherever they feel necessary and all that. Another program besides food, we talked about that. Going to prison. Oh, guess what? We're gonna have so many activists that's against prison and all this because we're getting longer sentences and we need to reform. And they're gonna make a career out of talking about prison reform when it's just simple. It's like you go to jail, you ain't having kids. It's simple. If that's your option, you're not gonna have kids. Period. So check, boop. If I'm giving you music that's anti-life and you're vibing to it, and that's the energy you got around you, and you come across a situation, your dad ain't there, that influence ain't there, but somebody's in your ear saying kill right away, bomb first, murder on the scene, you're gonna do that, and you just got hit with another program. Boom, just trying to survive. Now you're going to jail, you done took a life. And it's usually in the community that you're in because your crimes are based on resources. You don't have the resources to travel out and commit this and that. You're going to be in this area, committing crimes in this area. So that makes this area look bad. But it's all set up for us to keep our numbers low. If you are a person that likes actuals and factuals, look at the Census Bureau numbers. Look it up. What percentage of the population have we made up since they've been keeping track of the Census Bureau? Take a look at that, revolutionary.
I hear you.
Summarize that on them. Be like, dang, you mean what? We went up 3% since 1920 something? Like only like we went from 10% to 13. Oh, now we down to 12% of the population. What happened to the whole medical revolutionary part of society, and life was getting longer and longevity and healthy and happiness? Somehow we just stuck in those numbers, and it's all on purpose. It's all on purpose.
So in your opinion, what is the biggest challenge humanity faces?
The biggest challenge humanity faces is temptation. Pharaoh's gold for those religious ones, getting tempted by our natural need for resources, that natural instinct to hunt, to gather, because we're being cultivated for our spirits. We're being cultivated for our positivities. When we die, we dwell back in him. So he don't want no negativity, evil spirits in him. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I feel. That's why if we do X, Y, and Z, we dwell back in him. He built the earth to cultivate us, period. Food, water, shelter, everything is here to cultivate life. If I strip myself of every title, every father, every brother, man, I'm a dude. And what can I do? I can procreate. That's it. That's it. So I think that was our job, to procreate. Humanity isn't going to be there, and we should stop looking for it. And the minute we stop looking for it and doing other things, we will then be able to push our agenda of humanity, and everything will fall in place under that.
So share anything that you're doing to help others bring harmony back to humanity.
What I'm trying to do is live by an example. Just be that example, you know? I'm not out running on the street corner, on the bullhorn. People see actions, and they see it on you, and they see it in you, in the way you move. And I just try to slow everything down around me and let everybody know it's gonna be all right. You know what I mean? We're gonna make it. We got everything we need right here. If we slow down to the right speed and the right tempo, things will fall in place. You rushing, trying to be this, trying to be that. It's not the life our God intended for us to live.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm trying to do, is bring awareness to right now.
Yeah. Have you taken any action to advocate for humanity in any spaces?
Yes, in my work, starting off, I did a lot of music videos. I worked with a lot of mobs and gangsters and everything, that programs that was put on us, I was glorifying it by shining a light on it. You know, yeah, it was their story, but you know what? There's more chapters to this story. You know, okay, you told this in the first song, and the next song should be something else. But I found out that they don't care about your growth. They just want to know and have the artist promote negative things that's going to keep us in that cycle of, you know, meditating to death in our earphones on a concert. So I stopped shooting music videos and promoting artists and other things that are negative, that goes against being positive and showing humanity and just living and being joyful. You know, it don't always have to be about that. You know, it could be about just chilling and just being cool. It's free to be cool. It don't cost nothing to be cool. But if you don't know how to be cool and it ain't in you to be cool, and you just up there faking, and you go after school to learn how to be cool, your parents buy you the best clothes to be cool, you're watching MTV raps, you're watching everything trying to be cool, you didn't put fresh on your name because it ain't in you, you know? You got to work harder. You know, just who in society has to work harder at being cool. That's how you identify those who are from Earth and who ain't from Earth.
I like that. Are there any other issues that the Black community faces that you've advocated for?
All the issues stem from, I'm more like, I brought light to a lot of topics that people have, such as, you know, why are they killing everybody in Chicago? What's going on in that? You know, I took pictures. Like, hey, boom, here's the pictures from that. Sometimes I donate a lot of time. You know, it, like you said, it doesn't pay. Hey, it's no pay because they limit the resources. Yep. If I limit your resources, you only can do so much. So if I got 5 community centers and I give them each a little piece of the pie, boop, I'll take one pie. We'll never have a whole pie until we all come together. And so what I'm for is compounding. We need to compound our resources, prioritize them from a humanitarian position first. How's it affecting the people? Is anybody in physical harm? Is there any buildings or anything that, you know, is an immediate danger to society? Let's handle that first with all the resources we have. And then if we come together as a collective, we can then start addressing everybody's things going down the list. Like, oh, you need a roof. Oh, you need a parking lot. Oh, you need X, Y, and Z. Take, for instance, San Francisco. I work with a lot of different community centers. And each one, they provide something totally different. It's crazy. I'm blessed to work at the AAA CC complex. Man, that's home for life, man. They have a beautiful space, beautiful parking lot. Then you go around the corner and you got more magic. They got the basketball court. You know, it's like Hill Hush got the gym there, and then they got the kids. And it's like, but they don't got no large outside parking lot, like flat, like they do across the street, you know what I mean? So if we all link together like they've been doing and like our directors are pushing, we're gonna make it. We're gonna make it, you know? And then once they see, okay, you guys got a whole pie and you're applying that whole pie towards the main issue in your community, you're gonna see results. You're gonna see results. You have to.
Mhm. Absolutely. Thank you. And so the final question I have is, have you created any resources to counteract oppression?
Oppression.
Mhm.
Oppression in all types of senses, or oppression like
All types, whatever, however it resonates with you.
um I would say yes. I would say yes. A lot of my presence, showing up, being present, and bringing light to the situation in conversation, planting seeds as I go, but not necessarily pounding it on somebody, but just give, hey, go check this out. You know, I learned this today. Go check that out. What do you think about this? I believe pressure makes diamonds, and it's going to take a diamond to sharpen a diamond. You know, you can't just come with gold. Gold is beautiful, but gold can't do nothing for a diamond. You know, and I think we are diamonds, and us coming together, we're sharpening each other and we're polishing each other, and we're creating beautiful things, you know. And somebody come hard like a rock, you know what? You're gonna shatter when you come up to a diamond, because we truth, we positive, we pure. Ain't no other harder element than positivity and truth. And no matter what they throw at it, no matter what they say, no matter how much stimulus they want to put on the negativity and and programming our youth and our adults, it's not going to work. Positivity will always shine through every time.
Thank you. Well, I just appreciate you, Don, for coming on and sharing a little bit of your story and
I'm
your
crazy.
entrepreneurs. And so I wanted to just highlight a few of the pearls that I heard you say that really connected.
Okay.
Think before you engage in all situations. When you accept the reason why things are the way they are, you'll be able to move beyond where you are now. We
Mm-hmm.
have to activate our humanity and model for others. And
Mm.
so realizing I got to meet people where they are when I meet them. They may have not tapped into their humanity, but I know I can model through mine what
Mm-hmm.
engagement looks like.
Show that light. Let
Exactly.
that Rika, let that revolutionary light shine. You
Yeah.
got it. It's in you. It's on you. I see it. They
Mm.
said, you know, somebody, I was like, boom,
Yeah.
Rika. Just believe it. You a diamond. You just don't go around seeing diamonds on the surface just laying about. You got to work hard to get to a diamond. And like I said, it takes a tribe. And sometimes it takes a little dirt around us to protect us. And you may not be the diamond in your community, but you are important just as much as that diamond itself is. So know that you play a role. Everybody plays a role.
Appreciate that. And so, again, thank you, Don, for coming on. If there is one last tip or piece of advice
Mm-hmm.
you'd like to share with the viewers, the last voice they hear will be yours.
I just want to tell everybody to keep seeking, but also be content. Also know that everything that's been told to you, look at it from a flip point of view, and you'll start to be satisfied with the answers you're coming up with. And you won't be so much of a seeker. Sometimes being a seeker is a lonely lifestyle and you're never happy. Um, be happy, be content, count your blessings. It's all the same, you know? And love. Love is the answer. Love.
All right, thank you.